Angel investing, my Paystack story. Stripe's 200 million acquisition of Paystack closed. The fairy tale ended into my first angel investment. The acquisition was announced in October 2020 and closed in January 2016. Paystack went live on Radar in January 2016. The reviews were great and I was introduced to the CEO, Shola Akinlade. A month later, while they were still at YC, we were looking for a better solution for payments, and their recurring payment was innovative as it was a major pain point for my customer. Customers struggled to log into a portal ahead of their subscription expiration and instead preferred to make payments directly to our accounts or cash at our office. We integrated them and went live in February 2016, and within 3 weeks we had already reached 1 million in transactions and 98% of our customers had signed up for recurring billing. In fact, they loved it so much that we made a bold decision to go cashless. It was a solution to a problem I and many business had. The business model was better than the incumbent since they weren't charging a one-time setup fee. I then thought to myself that I should invest in the company, but this was March 2016 and angel investing wasn't a thing in Nigeria yet. So I discussed with my friends and family and decided to watch a little bit. Then, after demo day, I watched their demo day video, saw their growth rates, and I was convinced it was a great investment. I then made a decision to invest in Shola. But again, my friends were like, I'm making an investment that's almost 3 months pay in a company with a handful of customers to a Nigerian who's in a different country for an idea with a large competitor. They all said, good luck with that, Kendall. I became a little skeptical too. So I emailed Shola back and halved my investment. This would haunt me forever because 5 years later, they exited. Angel investing is risky though. A lot of startups die, but if they do succeed, the return on investment is huge. But you should only invest what you're willing to lose. Kept in touch with Shola from time to time, emailed back and forth, and even in November 2016 when Stripe raised their Series D, I sent a link to Shola and he responded in 5 years. Serendipity, because in less than 5 years, Stripe acquired Paystack. I had more conviction on the back of my Paystack investment, and in Q4 2016 decided I wanted to do a little bit more. Around the same time I was making a decision to leave Exxon and come on full-time as TZD. So I sold my home and used the proceeds to invest in a number of startups in Nigeria, and they've all collectively raised 150 million to date. Please don't do that. It's a really bad idea. And if not for Paystack's exit, I would have ended up worse. The better thing to have done is to invest from cash flows like your actual salary or rental income from the property itself, because my home was in Vancouver, which is the warmest part of Canada, and the house prices have appreciated significantly since I sold it. Investors-founder relationship. When you invest in a company, the founder forges a great partnership with the investor. Both of you are now aligned on working to create value. Shola opened up his network, and I also worked every way I could to support him with advice whenever I reached out, and also to walk through challenges. And it was a very symbiotic relationship. And even I, being a competitive person, there was healthy competition between both of us, given that I was also a founder. So personally, I made a goal to ensure I doubled his seed raise when we went into YC, and I did it. When I visited their office a year later, I showed our off when we did move to our office was twice the size of theirs. But when it was time for an exit, he raised the bar significantly. So we're hoping we can also double our exit. It's a work in progress. I got a WhatsApp message from him saying he had signed with Stripe. I initially thought it was Paystack Series B. And when he said it was a 200 million acquisition, I was super excited. I went through a number of emotions. First one was, wow, my decision of investing ended up in an exit. My decision to sell my home didn't end badly. And wow, why did I reduce the size of my investment back in 2016? And wow, Shola did it in less than 5 years. When we had joked about it after Stripe Series D. I'm a strong believer in goals, and I believe that if you set a goal, you can achieve it. So it was a 20x return on my initial investment, even though I know 14x was a number that was widely reported because I was a little earlier than most folks. And because at the time I invested too, exchange rate was 200 Naira to 1 versus now that's above 400 Naira. And apart from crypto Ponzi, there are very few things that can give you that type of return on investment. I'm super proud of the team and know that they will go on to even accomplish a lot more after the acquisition. So post the Paystack exit, a rising tide lifts all boats. After the acquisition was announced, there's been a flurry of investors looking for the next Paystack, both local investors and international investors. That is great for the ecosystem as there's a shortage of capital needed to seed invest in startups in the region. And if you do get the conviction to invest, these are my tips for investing in the region. Invest what you can afford to lose. Don't dispose an asset to do so. It's extremely risky still. Invest alongside great firms or in a company who has been through an accelerator. If you're just starting out investing, as that is a great signal. You're actually investing in the founders to ensure you carry out due diligence on the founder prior to making any investment in early stage company. Better still, stay away from loud founders. Entrepreneurship is hard in Africa, and there's zero correlation today between founders with large following on social media and success. You can't possibly balance both. Stay away from founders who have not achieved anything outside of being a founder. If you do make the investment, provide the maximum support you can, especially when there are challenges or the company is struggling. Then, even though the bet is really on the founders for early stage investing, you should also try to invest in companies with large addressable market and whose customers love the product early on and are acquiring paid customers early with no real marketing. And the converse is true. Stay away from companies whose early traction is as a result of paid marketing or a function of freebies. They usually don't have a moat and there will always be new entrants doing the same thing, but with maybe even larger access to funds. Make quick decisions, pace yourself, aim for about an investment a year if you're an angel, when you fully understand it. And again, please invest what you're comfortable to lose. Don't be like me who almost invested a quarter of his salary and then I had to dial that back a bit. But do double down on investments in the company in future rounds as it becomes less risky with time. Finally, for me, it was a bittersweet ending as I did feel a little sad when the exit closed and will still be one of their biggest cheerleaders.